Hello there, Crafty Doer. Jessica Michaels here. Welcome back to the Crafty Doings Mixed Media Paper Crafts. Welcome. If you are new, this video is for Ranger ink. I will be creating an art journaling page using 49 and Market dye ink, their most recent release color of 7 and 49 and Market Glimmer and Glee collection. So grab a comfy chair, grab all your crafty things, and let's get into the crafty doings. To break the blank page, I am simply going to dilute honey oaked onto my glass working surface and dilute it with water. That way I am able to pick it up with my paintbrush, and I'm simply just going to paint some vertical strokes across the entire page and also kind of lightly on to the left page here. And if you don't know already, I normally don't do double spreads, but I do like to kind of spill the art over onto the next page. After I ensure that the honey oaked is completely dry, I'm going to dive into the ribbon transfers from 49 and Market. Again, this is all the Glimmer and Glee collection. And I'm going to select some designs that are fairly neutral in color. And I wanted to do this check, but I think that this other one is going to suit my design better. I have decided that my focal point is going to be in the middle, and so I want to begin to build those vertical layers. Now, if you haven't created with 49 and Market ribbon transfers, you are missing out. These are unbelievably easy to use, and if you're going to use them for mixed media like I do, I like to use my fingernail just to kind of transfer it onto my paper, because when I pull, you'll notice that I still have some on here, but that gives me flexibility to add the design or expand the design, so to speak, wherever I need it to. And again, my focal point is going to be in the center. And so I want it to go heavy and bigger in the middle, and then kind of thin it out towards the top and the bottom. So these little leftover designs on the ribbon transfers are a perfect way to be able to accomplish that. Now that I have my second layer here on my page, I'm going to reach for a circular design. And the cool thing about ribbon transfers is that the way that 49 and Market kind of designs them is that there's lots and lots of spillage. So for example, I got this circle from here, this like zigzag design that you see on my glass working surface on the right here, but I cut out this black circle and then I snipped it in half, and now I'm using it to put it on the top right and the bottom left, and that'll help kind of balance my design on my art journaling page. And I still have that brown zigzag for another project. Next, I'm going to dilute designer denim on my glass working surface, just as I did with honey oaked, and I'm going to pick it up with my brush. And the cool thing about ribbon transfers is that they are also non-porous like my working surface, and so it kind of acts like my glass working surface, so almost like a palette on my page. And so I start on the center of the ribbon transfer, and then I can feel like it gives me a little more control of where I want that ink to go. And I can either pick it up with a paper towel or dry it, and it will stay on top of the ribbon transfer. As usual, I like to reach for my Ranger heated tool to speedy up the drying process, and you'll see me wash off my paintbrush here with my distress sprayer because I don't have my jar of water, and I am so deep into this project that I don't want to step away from my desk just to grab my jar. Now I'm going to repeat this process, except this time I'm going to mix sea glass and honey oaked because I want that sea glass to be a little bit deeper. There are some deeper greens in the ephemera and laser cut elements that I'm going to use for this page, and so I think mixing those two together will give it just the right tone that I want. And I'm going to once again repeat the same process, except this time I'm going to start splattering. Continuing the process now using dried fig. And I do want to point out that in this journaling page, I am not mixing the colors. So it's really important that I dry in between every color. And you saw how easily it was to grab my paper towel and wipe off the wet ink that was on top of the rub-on transfer. And the reason why I did that was because I don't want to focus on the center. That is where all my embellishments are going to go. Now that my page is completely dry, I'm going to trim this edge here on the cello paper. This is very different than washi tape. Cello paper is those stickers that are kind of transparent, and they're a little bit thicker than washi. Washi's opaque, and not only that, but they're not as sticky. You could really see it here when I put it down on my page, which I realized that it kind of blends in with that rub-on transfer. So I'm going to go into the 6x8 paper pack and grab this delicious looking frosting pattern and just tear a piece off of it. And I'm going to tear in such a way where I can see the white tearing. If I tear the opposite direction, and then the white tear would not be there. It just really depends on what you like. Now I'm going to adhere that pattern paper with the cello tape, and I think it serves us two purposes: layering and also adhering both the cello and the torn paper. These scallop pieces are from the ephemera and frames, and I'm just trying to see which color kind of goes the best with the dye inks that I put down. I really like the yellow, but I think it's only because of the cello tape and also the envelope that's on my journaling page sticking out here on the left. So my eye just kind of naturally wants to go to it, but I'm going to force myself to use either the green or the blue. Green is my favorite color, so I guess that is why I kind of went with that one. There's really no rhyme or reason, especially because the ephemera and laser cut elements that I'm going to add in later have a little bit of both the blue and the green. So I really like using 49 in Market Archiver's glue. It dries so quickly and it dries clear, and I like that it's in a smaller bottle because it's easy to handle and kind of easier to go from my hands to the desk, as opposed to like a gigantic bottle. I almost feel like I'm maneuvering this gigantic tool. And so if you haven't tried this Archiver's glue, I highly recommend it. I do really like it. I feel like I keep reaching for it more and more. So now it's all about embellishing, and this collection, Glimmer Glee, is super cute and versatile. It has a lot of, like, if I could put a topic or like a theme to the collection, is it's birthday, it's celebration, little things, big things. It's also like baby themed, I feel like, or baby shower. So soft and sweet, and I'm all about it. Very dreamy and whimsical if you put the right pieces together. So for my vision, I saw at the top clouds, birds, And that's where I went with that. And so the bottom is more of where I put the picket fence and my sentiment, because it's the ground. And for my sentiment, I made sure to choose two different designs or like fonts, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. To add dimension to the design, I'm going to use scrapbook adhesive foam squares to adhere some of the elements. And one of the ways that I like to kind of do this is, for example, if I'm using two of the same design, like the clouds, I'm going to adhere one directly onto the page and then use the foam squares to adhere the other one. That really makes a difference. You can tell when they're side by side which one's laying down flat and which one is elevated. Lastly, I'm going to add some florals to my design just to make it a bit whimsical, and I'm also going to use these florals as fillers, so anything that needs a little or there's too much extra space, I'm going to slip like a flower bud or a flower in there. Here is the final look to this art journaling page. Thank you so much for watching. I truly do hope that you were inspired today to reach for your mixed media and create on your paper project. Don't forget to check out the Ranger blog for step-by-step tutorial. Until the next crafty doings.